engineer that when I got here, I looked at the bridge inventory list and I see this thing called Mill Lane, but I'm told, hey, that thing washed out a decade ago, but it's still on the bridge inventory list, so it's getting inspected every 2 years. So we get a report that says, you know, here's what that bridge looks like. And I said, okay, I want to go out there and see what this thing looks like myself. So I went down there, this is back in the 2006 time frame, and walked out on that causeway and stood at the top of a 15-foot embankment with near vertical slopes right down to Scotchman's Creek. And I look out at the end of the embankment and there's a beaver swimming around out there. And we had recently done the Department of Public Works vision statement, one tenet of which is stewards of the environment. So I was standing up there on the top of this embankment, looking at this sheer slope with clay soil that goes right down into the Scotchman's Creek, and I said, this isn't the right answer. That something needs to be done out here. The county either needs to move forward and replace this bridge and address this problem as part of replacing the bridge, or decide it's not going to replace the bridge and fix this environmental problem. And so we then gathered the data, put together the decision briefing, which I gave to the Board of County Commissioners on July 10th of 2007, and presented them with the cost estimates, and presented that board with the Department of Public Works recommendation, which was don't seek to reopen the road and replace the bridge, direct us to remove the existing bridge and undertake a site stabilization project. And that Board of County Commissioners approved that recommendation. And so subsequent to that, the CIP was developed to reflect that scope of work. And that scope of work has been validated by every Board of County Commissioners since then that has approved, including this one, that has approved the road and bridge CIP. So, you know, in my opinion, doing nothing isn't the right answer. We're kind of stuck at the fork in the road. And my recommendation is to move forward, assuming we can strike this deal with NDE on the landfill. My recommendation to you will be, let's award the construction contract, remove the bridge, remediate the site, get it stabilized. That'll give us credit in WIP. I think that'll qualify as stream restoration, so that can go in the WIP wind column, and we're done.
Director Flanagan, can you look at that estimate right there done by URS in 2009? Is that not applicable?
Yeah, okay. This URS Corporation is our design engineer for the current project to remove the bridge and stabilize the site. And so this is the cost estimate for Middle Lane bridge removal and road stabilization.
And how much is the estimate?
We typically don't reveal that in public, but it's $126,000. I don't remember what the bids were. I think they were pretty good. That's public info. That was publicly open and read aloud by the purchasing agent. So. Okay, hearing none, I'll move on. I realize, you know, you've got some more heavy lifting scheduled this afternoon. Last thing on my list of things that you said you wanted to talk about was Rolling Mill Road Bridge. As you might recall, that was an existing historic structure, truss bridge, that was struck by an errant vehicle and knocked down, I think back in the 2007, 8, or 9 time frame. I don't remember the exact date. I think Commissioner Hodge did an excellent job of summarizing previous board discussions relative to that project. The previous Board of County Commissioners did not say no, never. They said not at this time. There was some discussion about possibly wanting the town of Northeast to contribute money towards the capital cost of the project and/or agree to take over maintenance responsibility of the bridge, but no deal was ever struck, and so that project dropped off the road and bridge CIP. That is not one of the 71 that's on there at the present time. The Public Works recommendation was to replace it with a one-lane bridge, which would be functionally obsolete. So I would point to that as reinforcing what Commissioner Hott said earlier, which is every situation is unique. I would say, as a general rule, we ought not to build structurally deficient, we ought not to build brand new structurally deficient, functionally obsolete bridges, but in that one particular case, our thinking was, okay, that's probably the right answer. And the reason is that by doing that, it would allow us to reuse the existing abutments and significantly reduce the cost. That if we decided to do a two-lane bridge there, that would require a lot of abutment work, a lot of right-of-way acquisition, probably double the cost. It's a pretty low volume road. So in that particular case, we said that's probably an exception call in our mind that qualified as an exception to the rule. So that was our recommendation, and I think it remains that.
Quick question, is it just outside the town boundary? Bill, can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's the bridge, for whatever reason, is under county maintenance. The red line is the town boundary, so you'll see that really on three sides, the county actually has maintenance of the road. I guess the line's on the wrong side on our GIS, but the bridge is surrounded on three sides by the town, and that's part of why we think the town, if it's in their interest, it's just about in their town to be involved with.
My recollection of talking about this bridge several years ago was that there was many options discussed, from 2 lanes to single lanes to buying a bridge on Blue Ball Road and trying to move it up to the site. There was many things that were discussed and talked about. At the end of the day, it was concluded that it was just not high on the list at this time under these economic conditions, and for obviously different reasons than other bridges, and so it was just put on hold. And there's no agenda other than that, because I do know that there was a lot of discussions on all types of solutions.
Shall we reach out to the town and look at some cost sharing?
The town has already committed to $100,000.
Well, I knew that, but I mean, just if we're serious about it, to open up some additional dialogue with them.
Yes, I would support that in making this more of a priority.
Just how's the rest of the board feel?
How much have they agreed to?
100,000.
Commissioner Moore?
That is the cost estimate to replace it was for the single lane? Or was there a cost estimate done to replace it?
Yes.
First of all, and that was single?
It is in this slideshow that he has pulled up now, the costs that we presented at that time. You could probably flip through a line. There we go.
I guess I would like to remind you of something I noted at the outset, which is the fact that we are getting ready to, well, we have commenced the FY14 CIP process. There is not, this Rolling Mill Road Bridge is not in the FY13 CIP, but it seems to me that if the board is interested in that it can be thrown into the hopper and considered, and that this will be the opportunity for, I guess it'll be the next county executive and county council to ultimately weigh in and make a decision on this matter. So the opportunity to do something with respect to Rolling Mill Road is upcoming in the form of this FY14 CIP process.
Commissioner Moore, you okay with talking to the town to seriously consider working with them on?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but I'll tell you that what concerns me about this information, and this is the same challenge that we had with the other projects, is that replacing it with a one-lane bridge does not meet current design standards. So it's gonna be a lot more expensive than that, and also the date of this presentation was October 2009, so that, those numbers are at least 3 years old. So.
But I mean, just in terms of sitting down with town,
Sure.
mayor and council there and saying, okay, look, if we're seriously gonna consider this as some type of joint venture working together to get this open, because it serves the town need and the county need. Mr. Hahn, you okay with that? Okay. Mr. Wise, is something we can probably schedule with, town staff down there? Then we'll just maybe do it around a work session or one of those afternoon meetings.
Okay, we've already consumed well beyond our allotted time. We're at your service, but if it's okay with you, we'll pack up and get out of your way. Thank you.